Good morning to everyone. Thank you for making time to join us today. My name is Safi Sharoof. I am a business development manager here at Cetas. I'll be your host for the next 1 hour. Now, our topic today, as you've been seeing everywhere, we've been sending you thank for your registrations. Our topic for today is UAE Invoice Mandate and what it means for Microsoft Dynamics 365 customers. So basically, this is a practical session, not a sales pitch. We are just letting Dynamics 365 customers with three things: assessing the readiness, reducing the penalty risk, and ensuring a smooth rollout of e-invoicing on your Microsoft Dynamics, despite whether it's Business Central or Finance and Operations. So if you have any questions, please drop in the chat, raise your hands. We will be taking the questions at the end of the session. Now, before we start, I'd just like to quickly brief on who we are and what do we offer. Just a brief. So, Cetas Information Technology, we are a Microsoft partner. Coming back to Microsoft Solutions partner, we are a business applications partner, specifically covering all the biz apps under Microsoft, which includes their old Dynamics, GP, Navision, AX ERP to the Dynamics 365 Business Central Finance and Operations, CRM, and Power Platforms. This is our forte. This is our area of expertise. We started in 2010 back in Chennai. We have a branch in Bangalore, India. We are also located in US. Here in Dubai, we are located in Dubai Silicon Oasis for the last 8 years. Globally, we have 300 plus customers across different Dynamics platforms. Here in UAE, we have 70 plus customers across different Dynamics 365 solutions and Power Platform solutions. Now, coming back to the solutions we offer, I would just also like to highlight where we are also a ISV partner to Microsoft, and we have developed a couple of add-ons specifically to project management, procurement management on top of Business Central. That is something which you can access on Microsoft App Stores as well. So that makes us as a unique partner with 8 plus add-ons on Business Central, making Business Central as a one-stop solutions to customers. Having said, we are also excellent in F&O and upgrades of AX and Navision as well. I'm not gonna take your time to go through that. Today, we'll focus on today's agenda itself. So let me introduce my team along with the agenda. So I have Mr. Venkatesh with me and Mr. Kiran. Venkatesh is our director MEA. Kiran is a senior functional consultant, a project manager for Dynamics 365 ERP side. So they are joining me today. Firstly, Mr. Venkat to cover the UAE regulatory information, and Kiran will take you through the technicalities of Dynamics 365 and the integration of e-invoicing. So what we'll cover today will mostly focus on only these two things. What is UAE's regulatory terms? When should we start? How can we get you ready for it before June 2027, sorry, January 2027? And the technicalities, assessments, the readiness with Dynamics 365, despite its Business Central or F&O. So this is pretty much a very quick, short session, after which you have a free readiness assessment. If you're interested, we will send you the link. We can have it's a very short 30 minutes free assessment, no obligation, no cost involved. If you would like to see the assessment and get a FitCap report for you, please join that as well. Now I'll pass it to Mr. Venkat to take you through the regulatory. Mr. Venkat, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Afi. Good morning, all. So, what is the mandate for UAE e-invoicing? Is that UAE Ministry had announced sometime last year that they will be introducing e-invoicing. So, the first phase is going to be for any business which has got a revenue of more than 50 million, which comes under the phase 1. So the timeline for that is we need to get into an appointment of an ASP, which are approved by the FTA. So you'll have to pick up one of the ASP, and then the go live date is supposed to be on 1st January 2027. The phase 2 starts for the other customers who are below 50 million, wherein you have to appoint the ASP by 31st of March 2027, and the go live date is going to be 1st July 2027. So having said that, what is that what we are today is that we need to assess our readiness and have the ASP appointed by 30th September. And FTA along with the ASP provider, they give you a free sandbox for all your testing and all those stuff. And then once you're ready, all the testings are done. It kicks on from 1st January 2027. Now, non-compliance penalty, they're talking about 5,000 dirhams per month. This is what I have seen from their listing. This could change as time proceeds, right? So the legal degree that was passed on this is 6 of 2025, where your structured data should be on a PINT AE structured format. PINT is nothing but the PayPal 5 format, which is internationally used, and there has been some tweaking which has been done for UAE in specific. So, any questions till now? If there is anything, you can park your question and then we could answer it towards the end. So now, what is that appointment deadline that we are looking at, and what we should look at sooner when we look at it? Now, there's no point waiting and then rushing towards the end. We saw this same rush when the VAT was implemented in UAE. People were waiting, and towards the end, there was a log of clogging which happened in the FTA side, and a lot of people got even fines as well. So what we need to do is get the integration during the done here in those audit session done, and then complete of what we are looking at care in finance and IT resources, and then messy workaround where we try to populate the data and get up into troubles. Then we might also have some disrupted billing and gaps in testing and those kind of thing, and probably a downtime as well. To fix all these things, what we should do is prepare early. So we should have our data ready that is required by FTA, and those things have to be tested through the approved ASP provider, and then have the testing done properly. We need to have the configuration of sandbox, uh, tested it properly, run a parallel run for, we have a good 3 months time. That is almost from October till January when we go live. So we can do parallel run, whatever permutation combinations of data that we have would get thoroughly checked, tested, then only we are ready for go live. So we have enough time, so we don't need to be in a, we will not be in a very bad situation that time when the clock ticks in on 1st January 2027. So what we must prepare is we should have a structured format. This is the format that has been recommended or approved by Ministry of Finance on the FTA side, which is called as PINT AE XML e-invoicing, and not any, we cannot upload any PDF document or papers or anything. So it has to be in a specific format, which I will talk to you in the next slide as well. Then we need to appoint an aggregated channel, that is the ASP that are listed on the FTA portal as well. So we need to get one of them signed up so that we can do the testing and all properly. Then we need to clean up our master data in terms of putting the right TRN number, what is the item that is part of your e-invoicing, that is the VAT structure, which is whether it is a zero VAT or it is a VATable structure, whether it is it's going to a free zone company or it is a zero rated taxes. All those things we'll have to get enabled. Right now, you're doing those things manually in the FTA portal, or you're having an Excel template which you would be uploading. So going forward, those kind of things will not be there. Data will get moved from your ERP system to the FTA side through the ASP channel that are approved by the FTA. Right. What happens in this is after this, then there is no tax filing that is required. So everything happens automatically. Even the your vendors who are doing this from their side once, even if they are less than 50 million, I think by 1st July, their data would also come into the picture. So where that is why we have both AR and AP integration. So we also validate all the fields and the rules as per the FTA in VAT filing. Similarly, we'll also do the same validation here for the e-invoicing. And we also have the reporting and auditing that happens to this, wherein we store the archiving of the data, one storage that is happening in your ERP, another happens in the ASP front as well. So they also store about 5 years of data uh, going forward. They'll be storing up to 5 years all the data that is passing through the ASP provider. Okay. So as I told you, what does this PINT AE standard format mean? PayPal International Invoice is something which is globally approved. So UAE has done some tweaking to itself for based on its local needs. So we have our own VAT rules in terms of validation and all those things. Then we need to have the Emirates ID or the TRN field and all filled in. Then the free zone classification and reverse charges are also there. Then you have the digital signature structures that are to be used, how it should be and all those things. And then you have the mandatory XML schema that is going to be pushed from your ERP system, whether it is Business Central or from F&O to the FTA site. Now, what PINT ensures is that it is a unified invoice structure. It is consistent in data field. Means everybody cannot have their own field. So there is a structured fields which are there. Then automatically it is getting verified. So you don't need to do anything. So that's why we do the testing properly so that your data is in full. And then your cross-border interportability is also there. Tomorrow you want to share, the handshaking happens with KSA or Qatar or Oman or India. So handshakes will happen between the FTA and other UAE FTA and other countries FTA structures. So real-time FTA validation also happens. Whenever I'm pushing the data, it is going to tell me whether data is fine or not. And also, it is not something it is going to be on a real time. You can push the data. You also have a grace period up to 2 weeks or 3 weeks wherein your data can synchronize. It's not that anytime you push invoice, it has to happen. But we have to ensure that all the invoices that are there should be pushed into your FTA site, right? Then why UAE chose PINT is that it's globally acceptable one, the uniform compliance one. Security controls and digital signature accessibility is also there. And VAT structures are very accurate and calculated error-free. So this is the reason why PINT has been accepted by UAE Ministry of Finance for the FTAE invoicing. So with this, I will hand over the session to Kiran, who will talk about the other silent features, what would be there on this implementation. Over to you, Kiran.
Okay, thanks, Venkat. So, when it comes to e-invoicing, there are six areas which I would like to focus on, whether it could be the Business Central or the finance and operations, what we're looking at. So to start with, the first and foremost thing is the master data. So as Venkat rightly flagged, this as one of the big thing to be looked at. It could be the tax registration numbers or the items, or even in fact the unit of measurement which needs to be taken care. The second thing is about setting up the tax and the VAT codes or tax groups in the system, and have it rightly updated. The third thing is, of course, the invoice fields, which is more critical data, which we will be um, sharing as part of this PayPal, the UAE invoice integration, the mandatory fields, the formats, the validation rules, the demands on the formatting side, all those things have to be looked at. The fourth thing is, of course, the workflow and approval, which has to be looked into, like your posting flows needs to be controlled and auditable as well. The fifth integration, or the fifth point would be on the integration side, which is most important aspects which has to be considered. This is where Dynamics connects to the accredited channel that reports to FTA. And the final one, the sixth, being most important on the reporting side and the audit point, the retention, the traceability, and the reconciliation options available. Now, Dynamics handles a lot of this natively, but almost every environment needs some sort of localization of the configuration. And since we will be hooking up with the accredited ASP, the integration layer should be fully compliant. So that's where we focus more on while working with the ASP. And one specific point, it could be the Business Central or the F&O or the finance and operations users would be running with the multiple legal entities. So most of the cases we have tried to ensure that the scope it is considered in scope and stuff like that. But I don't rule out that there could be some gaps which we need to review with specific instances. Work with them, work with the customers. This would, in a way, would extend a bit of a timeline, but it's worth doing that. So what here we are trying to achieve is try to focus on these key areas, especially having master data consistency is important. The tax setup, of course, which is important. Mandatory invoice fields and validations. Hooking up with FTA and being compliant is more important aspects which we have to consider. And this assessment screen currently what you're seeing is probably the most useful slide to take away with you. This will definitely help in terms of assessing yourself and say where you are at each of the point which is mentioned, like not started, in progress, or ready. As far as the data readiness is concerned, is your data master or is your master data complete, clean, and is it consistent? Is something you have to do the tick against it. If you are not started, I suggest start working on that immediately. Two, that's the tax and configurations. In this, you will have to check your VAT and the tax setup. Is it aligned to the mandate which has been prescribed where you're signing as on date? Process and workflow, are your invoicing and approval controlled? Is something you'll have to check the readiness in terms of where you are. And of course, the integration and ASP point of view, where today you are, have you already shortlisted the ASP and where you're standing today? Fifth one is the governance and audit point of view. Is your reporting, retention, and ownership defined and clear? That is something you'll have to be verified. So what we typically see is most of the organizations are ready on one or two of these and in progress on the rest. And that's completely normal, I believe, because everybody are now progressing towards that to be checking where they are in terms of all this 5-point, which I think is important. The value is in seeing the gaps clearly, because once you can see them, you can plan around them. So just take a note of where you place yourself right now. Because in some time, I believe Afia will show you how we turn this into a formal action plan for your specific system. And your next step should be zero free, no obligation ERP readiness assessment. So let me quickly run through some of the checklist point of view, or a 30 to 45 minutes session would be good. Afia?
Yes. So what we are planning after this, you can sign up for the readiness assessment. It's a very brief session to 30 to 45 with your head of IT or head of finance, where the five dimensions which Kiran has just mentioned, we will help you analyze where you are and map your current setup, whichever current dynamics you are using. We will audit and analyze where your current setup stands in terms of the five dimensions and provide you with a snapshot or a report on where the gaps are and where should we start. So with a clear dates of how we can reach to be compliant on the invoicing. Since we as Cetas, we have started implementing already integrating Dynamics 365 solutions with our ASP provider as a layer. So this is, we see some pitfalls are currently lacking. Of course, it's a starting point, both from the customer side also, they have to be ready before 1st Jan. So the rush towards the end, firstly, with the master data and the tax invoices. So since that one is lacking, we'll have to, ASP provider and us as an integration partner is also taking the time. So it's not aligning with the go live one. So basically coming up to start immediately, make a timeline, no rush, and get the process smoothly and effectively. So this is the bottom line of it, which coming up to the master data cleanup and sandbox testing and the IT tax only training sessions to the team. Also, if you are on F&O, there will be, not just F&O, but even in Business Central, if you are on a multi-entity setup or multi-entity scope, that also needs to be analyzed. So these are the things which we have seen currently with our existing customers. We are doing integrations of e-invoicing with. So we would suggest you to just make a note of it, get it ready so that integration can happen smoothly. Now, how are we, or where are we in this scenario? So there are basically two lanes to it. We are the integration partner and there will be an ASP partner. Now, we as Cetas, we have already working with one ASP partners. We have shortlisted from the best. And also, we are already in another side, we are already working with a partner which the customer has chosen. So both the options are on table. Where we help is, as first we mentioned, we are a Microsoft partner. Having said, we starting from Business Central, F&O, Power Platform, we are expertise in, that is our major area. So there will be the delivery side of that will completely run smoothly. We are also an LS Central partner. If you are using LS Central on Business Central, the e-invoicing part will be smoother for us also, considering our expertise in it. And the other side where we expertise is our UAE and GCC expertise. So we have customers across Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait, not just in UAE. We have started in Saudi, Sadka invoicing. We have started Oman. We have started. So we have in-depth delivery knowledge when it comes to the GCC region. And a single accountability, which means if you're going for the partner, ASP partner, we have chosen or shortlisted. So we will be doing the implementation, integration, making them as a layer and compliant to the e-invoicing. And so you will have one point of contact and one implementation and get it ready. Now, once the e-invoicing is go live and ready to go for, we are also offering a support or a maintenance, annual maintenance to make you keep you compliant without any issues. So we look at the after implementation side as well. So having said the currently what we are suggesting, our role in your invoicing journey is with two layers as Cetas is your implementation and integration partner, and the second layer of ASP as an accreditor partner. So we will be doing the readiness assessment first. This is, as I mentioned, no obligation, free of cost assessment, very brief session where we will analyze your current D365 setup, identify the gaps, and give you the plan of action. We'll be going to the configuration and localization of your master data and tax setup invoice fields for both F&O and Business Central. Then the second, third line of ASP integrations, which is accredited by the UAE. Finally, testing go live and the annual maintenance. So CTS will be one layer, and ASP we have chosen or you have chosen will be your second layer. And the outcome of having both of us in one setup, you will have a on-time tested support e-invoicing in your current system. So, Mr. Venkat, do you want to streamline the path?
Yeah, so as I told on the first slide, so it's a high time customers get started on this. I know most of you would have started by now, whose revenue is more than 50 million. So the timeline again is to quickly to have a ASP appointed ASAP and have the sandbox ready and get the integration done for your ERP, whichever it is, whether it is F&O or Business Central or AX 2012 or whichever ERP, dynamic ERP that you are using. And from October from October 31st, the sandbox will be ready. That means we have got 2 good months to do all sorts of testing and all those things. And we get ready for the Jan 1st compliant go live timeline that has been confirmed with by Ministry of Finance on the FTA side for the e-invoicing. Right? Feedback to you.
Right. So the action plan is going forward with your assessment readiness. So the time is nearby. We are still talking about the phase one right now. So what we would suggest is to register your assessment readiness today. You can reach us out. You have the email ID, or you can send you the link for it, and then schedule the sessions according to your availability, my team's availability, depending on whether it's Business Central or Finance and Operation. Then from there, we will take it forward and would be happy to guide you through your e-invoicing compliant before January 2027. So that's it from our end. Mr. Venkatesh has covered the regulatory lines from UAE in regards to e-invoicing. Mr. Kiran has covered the D365 readiness. And I've just briefed you on how can we help you. Then we will open the Q&A session. We've been getting, of course, there is a lot of queries regarding e-invoice we have been getting. And I believe some of you have joined 10 or 15 minutes later. So if you have missed the first few slides or first few presentations, we'll be sharing the slides with you. Okay. Hi, Mr. Sudhakar. Thank you for joining, sir. So I've been seeing, is there any Microsoft released e-invoicing localization pack available in Dynamics 365 F&O for our country or region? Mr. Venkat?
Sudhakar, good afternoon. There's nothing which has officially come in from Microsoft. So Microsoft doesn't have any localization specific to UAE. Since this is going through the ASP guys into the FTA side, so they have we are only using the XML model to create the files required to be pushed into the to the ASP and into the FTA portal.
I hope that answers your question, sir. In this case, have Cetas extended the functionality in D365 F&O? Mr. Venkat, that was from Sudhakar to the new clarification you have mentioned. Another question we received is, once the ASP is finalized, how the subscription will work? Will it be based on number of invoices or per legal entity?
Okay, Sudhakar, your question is in this case, has Cetas extended this functionality in F&O? Yeah, we are taking the data from F&O only, Sudhakar, and that is put it onto a PINT format and send it to on a XML to the ASP that is being finalized by the organization. What is the other question?
The ASP is finalized, how the subscription will work?
So subscription is purely dependent on the ASP that you're appointing. Some people they do it based on the number of transactions. Some people they do it on an annual subscription model, but it's purely on the ASP provider that has been finalized.
Does Dynamics 365 provide end-to-end UAE invoicing compliance, or are additional solutions required for validation and submission of invoice?
Okay, Ratina, the XML that we create is going to be sent to the ASP and the ASP guys will push it. So in that process, all your validation, everything is taken care of. So there is, but by default, D365 doesn't talk to any ASP as such. So that is where company like Cetas comes in to build that integration model as a one-time exercise.
I hope that clarifies. Any further questions? Thank you all for joining. I hope this was an informative session for you. I hope we provided the necessary informations to get started with your compliant to invoicing. So as a next step, there is a free assessment brief session which you can join, and we will take care of the gaps and provide you with a report. So you will be receiving an email from our team in regards to the free assessment. You can sign up. So I hope that's all from our end. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day ahead.